The GOAT debate plagues tennis Twitter. It invites toxicity into fandoms and creates chaos wherever it goes. But where did it all start? Last time, I watched and reacted to the very first Nadal match in Miami 2004. Today, I am watching the very first the very first Federer vs Djokovic match at Monte Carlo 2006. Also, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It literally takes just a few seconds. Djokovic to serve first. Federer is in his Wimbledon get-up, apparently.
The strategy is he has a good serve, and he moves extremely well. I look for him to try to pick on Federer's forehand a little bit.
First of all, the audio for these older matches are so messed up. The commentators are quieter than the sound of the ball, and the umpire and crowd is far too loud. Second of all, good serve is not something I've usually associated with Djokovic until the last few years. I seem to remember it letting him down quite regularly back then. Eventually he got it to a solid level, and now with Ivanisevic it's much more of a weapon.
Federer gives him the point.
Do you reckon he'd do that these days, with, their history? So, I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands soon, which means I'm going to try and grind YouTube as much as possible. Bearing in mind, I have 2 channels. The plan at the moment is I'm going to continue with the documentary style videos and hopefully more of them, as well as these I watched for the first time videos for the Slams and Masters events, including WTA as well. However, I want to ask you guys something. I swear, everyone always seems to start their career off wearing such baggy clothes. I suppose it makes sense, they probably get their gear custom fitted these days.
Well, number one with the service hold. I think you're right, he wasn't nervous. He certainly has a game plan. He's going to take advantage of his serve, going primarily at Federer's forehand, because we know that sometimes Federer has a little bit of trouble timing the forehand. Yes, it is an amazing shot when it's on, but if you're going to get errors, sometimes it's the forehand that will break down, as we saw last year on the surface. There's that backhand that is so improved. He can hit it with extreme angle, really comes over the ball well.
Every match I've seen of Federer's, no matter at what point in his career, always talks about how much better his backhand has gotten. Djokovic looks so small here. Djokovic isn't scared to use that backhand aggressively and also come to the net.
Djokovic was the #1 seed in the qualifying that just took place this past weekend. So he held up that seeding. He is the youngest player ranked in the top 100, just a bit younger than Andy Murray.
His forehand is flying a little too much. Eye off the ball for just a second there. It's quite an error-ridden first set so far from both players, mostly on the forehand.
He doesn't like to miss, particularly when the ball is short. Whoa!
Very late moving in there, almost like he forgot, not even making it to the service line before Fed passed him. But again, not afraid of moving into the net.
Well, no one would know by looking at this man in our picture, but his first 13 professional clay court matches were losses.
Federer has certainly got a pattern that's working for him at the moment. Well, there goes the first set. You'll notice if you watch my last video covering the first Nadal match in Miami, there was a lot more to comment on. The iconic and unique style Rafa brings, on top of playing incredibly well, lended itself to a good commentary. This match, Djokovic isn't much different other than being far more solid from the baseline, his strokes now being much smoother and efficient as well. But this match, so far at least, isn't too high quality. Both players were making too many errors, quite a few on the forehand I think, and Djokovic was dropping his second serve a little too short, allowing Fed to attack. Quite poor serving from Fed as well by the looks of things, the difference coming with the two double faults, the extra winners, and creating opportunities at the right time, as well as a further drop in form from Novak in I think his second service game.
He's loading up on Djokovic's backhand, whether it's deep in the court with angle or short in the court, not hitting too many to Djokovic's forehand. So even though he's the #1 player in the world, he still takes his opponent seriously and breaks down their game and plays with strategy.
He is able to hit that forehand quite big at times. There are signs of the immaculate movement we see from Djokovic these days. It's just not quite there or fully developed just yet. Still a little bit awkward and shuddery or rigid I suppose at times. What do you reckon? Remind you of a young Santoro, perhaps in need of more beady eyes or something? Good drop shot, but I still feel he's a little too slow moving after them. Similar to Rafa in the last match I did, the grunt is coming out later in the match. Federer is backing down a little, playing more defensive, which is just giving Novak more confidence, allowing him to swing freely, playing more aggressive than ever, especially on that forehand side, but making less errors in the first set. Djokovic is making use of that drop shot, meanwhile Fed's trying a few things at the net, not being entirely successful, but his forehand is still making errors and so he's trying a few things out. Djokovic on the other hand has massively reduced his errors in this second set. Woohoo! There's the Djokovic we know and love. It's starting to heat up now, both can feel this could be an important game. That was a very nervous first serve, about 70 miles per hour, barely over the net. That was Zverev-like. You can tell he's very nervous. The forehand hasn't got that same bite in it as it has done before. In fact, that was his first unforced error on the forehand side this set. Huge opportunity for Federer to pounce on here. Squandered his opportunity there. Noel was clearly nervous about closing out the second set. Federer's really not serving well today, worse in this second set. The main difference in this set, however, is purely Djokovic. He made far fewer errors, only 6 compared to 15 last set. What type of videos do you want to see on the channel? I love stats and so I want to do more statistical analysis type videos, but I also enjoy the tennis history videos too. Do you like the I watch for the first time format? Obviously I will try and dedicate more time in improving the editing etc. First I need a better computer that doesn't crash every 10 minutes. But what are your thoughts? Perhaps you want draw breakdowns and more current tennis related content, news and podcasty type stuff. Tell me down below. Federer isn't backing down with the forehand however, he's still going after it, believing in it working.
a good start by the world number one. Of course, he has to try and get that break of serve. Djokovic has changed tactics subtly between the first and second sets. In the first, he was winning the majority of points on serve when they landed near the lines, but was losing the points when they were going towards Federer's body. But in the second set, that changed quite dramatically. The vast majority of the serves to the deuce court were going into Federer's body. Didn't serve that many out wide to the forehand, but won a lot more of the points.
Preferring to use the frame rather than the strings that time.
And that forehand is becoming a liability again. 6 errors so far in this third set, already equaling what he made in the second. Again, not much to comment on, it's just Djokovic's level has dipped, making far too many errors. Djokovic's approach shots aren't fantastic today. He's unsure of what to do. He's attempted some drop shots, had some success at the beginning, but not really any more now. Ultimately not pressuring Fed as he should be doing. Aw, that's mean. They're leaving some of the best rallies to the end of the match, they really are. Not a great match if I'm being honest, both at a pretty low level. Federer was consistent at that lower level however, making too many unforced errors. Serving could have been better also, but this match was down to Novak. His level was dipping and rising all throughout the match. He started off well and had just one game in the first set where he fell down. The second set he played well, much more aggressive on that forehand, putting Fed on the defence, getting nervous when serving out for a second, but the third set however, he dipped again, making way too many errors. After that first round, Federer lost just 16 games before the final, where he met Nadal losing in 4 sets. That season, Federer made 4 Slam finals, winning 3, 6 Masters finals, winning 4. Djokovic, meanwhile, made his first Slam and Masters quarterfinals at Roland Garros and Shanghai, ending the season ranked 16. Anyway, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button and tell me what matches you want to see in the future.